Ronnie. Ronnie is a game changer. Ronnie is a huge support. Ronnie is right at the heart of this project. Ronnie is just evidence to me that the Lord is working. I can depend on Ronnie for so many things. I actually have to tell him, cool down, Ronnie. Don't commit yourself too much, you know. Ronnie will go out of his way. Ronnie will spend his money, for these things. And I see how hard he works in his normal daily life. I've spent some time with him, so I know how hard he works. So for him to find time for Cool Mom Records and the things that he does, I know it's done on that extra time. And that time when somebody's dozing off or whatever, that's probably the time that Ronnie uses to be in touch with us or while he's at work. So, I mean, this thing means a lot to him, and it has brought up a lot of enthusiasm in him, which I respect and I think he should have. There's many things that I have to correct him so that he doesn't go astray of the structure, but it is very profound. He's a godsend in that sense, and he's a game changer because that's the role that God has sent for him. You know, he represents Europe in a sense. I mean, he personally doesn't represent Europe, but he is a representation of Europe and the history of colonialism and slavery. And that side of it, the initiative was taken in Europe, right? And that's why it's important for us that the initiative to decolonize and to get rid of the legacy of slavery or to change it also comes from Europe and happens to be from Belgium. And so in that, I see a sign. I see Ronnie as a sign from God that the change that we need to bring about to address the legacy of slavery and colonialism and apartheid is right there, and God will find the people from those countries who are willing to work hard with us to achieve these things. And Ronnie is the first of them. So I welcome him with all my heart, and I thank him so much for really getting this project to where it is right now, to the level that it is. That is Ronnie's doing, and we can create the platform of how are we going to interact between Europeans and Africans on these serious issues, and how are we as Africans and Europeans going to unite in terms of like bringing corporations into the line that we need them to behave, into the responsibility they have towards us out of all the money they make out of us. And right at the center of that we have the chocolate industry, which is why we deal a lot with the chocolate bridge, because in Europe it's the chocolate industry which brings in multi-million billions of dollars, and in Africa it is the cocoa industry which brings in just a few very little money for huge effort and at certain levels slavery without any protection for the children involved. Very terrible conditions, you see. So that issue is still at work. That situation that creates slavery, it's still at work while we're enjoying our chocolate. So it is very important for us to have people like Ronnie who are not going to function on that usual platform that Europeans function at with their NGOs and whatever, as though like things were corrected then, and somehow it's just that we as Africans are not able to think or plan or whatever. No, we have structures out there in the world that undermine every single sensible African initiative, every single sensible African plan to do for self, plan for self, and live for self. That has been seriously curtailed systematically through history, which is why, again, we look up to the Lord Almighty for help and protection of the people that we put together here to say, look, Lord, let this be that sword, that one time when you say, look, this suppression shall go on no longer. It's over and things must change. All I can say is that we are aligning all our people up for divine intervention, and I'm looking at the whole constellation of us coming together as the divine intervention, as a gift from God, which I must be thankful to God for, because I met these people in this time to be doing what they're doing. It's the only way I can. I've got no way of protecting these people. I've got no way of protecting myself. All I can do is to look up to this guy and hope that the will of the people and the love of the people is going to come quickly to our aid now that we've stuck our neck out and showed what we want to do. They won't take us seriously, obviously, because a lot of people talk like that, but sometimes they might feel that it's necessary to nip it in the bud before it goes out there, because it may look like it's going somewhere. But I've got to say, if it's come this far, it means it's a sign that Satan has failed along the way, and we've come this far, and I believe that we've got a lot further to go. So I'd say for people to keep the faith and keep the love and to keep up the principles of life, and to try your best not to do wrong and to offend the Most High, because we're gifts to each other. Ronnie will get certain things done that other people won't get done. In that sense, he's a game changer, you know. So it's really cool.